thing for me. Talk about the Illini a little bit and the matchup with them this pregame set.
Yeah. They're going to be very similar to us. I mean, they've got some team speed. They've got some team power. Now the wind blows out quite a bit at Illinois, so but probably no different than it was here today. It blows out the left on a day like today here at Lambert. And their pitching has come around. Their defense has been solid, so we've got to put some pressure on them. They're used to playing on that turf infield, and maybe they come over and they got to get adjusted to the grass and the dirt again. But it's going to be a knockdown drag out. They're playing a little bit better now, especially in Big Ten, and they've crept up to tie with us for third. So this is another big weekend that we've got to try to separate. We can push them down at the same time, push ourselves up. So we just got to come ready to play and win those first 3 innings. It's our focus now on Friday for Illinois.
What happens?
There's still a lot to play for. I mean, and that's the thing. We haven't earned a tournament berth yet, so I mean, we've got to get back on it because, again, I mean, if you don't play well on that given day, anybody can beat you. And next thing you look up, and if you play bad in 3-4 days in a row, you're not going to win. So we need to play well and secure a spot in the tournament. We're still fighting for even a second place, and if we keep our head down and something crazy happens, maybe you got an outside chance. So, but we can't worry about that. I mean, we got to just worry about us playing good baseball, getting back to the basics, keeping our head down, and trying to win that first inning of the first game.
Yeah, just bouncing back and forth. I mean, you have started out at short, you played there for a little while, and then went out to right, and then played a few games there, and then now at third. So it's pretty much you go back and forth. I mean, I'm bouncing around, but I can stay at a position for like a certain amount of time. So it's pretty good. It's all right. It's not bad.
What's the longest you stayed at one position? Like game, like number of games?
Oh, I don't know. I would say about 10 or so. I don't know.
Like which one did you stay at 10?
Probably in the outfield. Probably the outfield's been the longest I've been at so far this year.
Okay.
So right field.
Which one do you feel more comfortable at?
I would say infield I played a lot longer, so third base is more comfortable, but outfield's still fun.
Is it, just moving around as much as you do, is that difficult for a player to adjust? Or, I mean, how do you handle maybe not the constant moving, but the switching probably, once every week and a half or something like that?
I mean, it's something new. You just kind of take it step by step. With the outfield, I started practicing that a little bit here and there, but I mean, fly balls, it's a lot easier in the outfield than it is in the infield. So it was easier to adjust to out there than it was in the infield. But I mean, infield is just like riding a bike when you take ground balls and stuff. So that's pretty self-explanatory and easy to get back into a groove with. So
in high school, did you play multiple positions?
No, I only played short in high school.
So how new was it here when you got here that you started playing different positions?
Outfield was new. Third base was all right. I mean, you just gotta get used to the angle. It's a lot shorter and a lot less time to react. But I like that less time. You get less time to think. So
do you take it as a compliment that you be used in different different spots? The
definitely.
versatility comes out.
Yeah, definitely makes me seem like an athlete, I guess. I don't know. No, I like it. It's fun. It's fun doing different things every day. So.
Now, is it a byproduct of just plugging holes, or because of injuries, or just?
I think it's got a lot of everything. I mean, Miller's been playing great at short. I mean, and Perkins has been doing well at first. I've been doing all right at third, and so I think just by position needs, it's just kind of bouncing around and doing whatever I can to help. So.
Oftentimes we hear when a guy moves positions or does different things, it throws him off at the plate. Do you feel like you've stayed pretty consistent at the plate through different positions?
I don't think the position has to do really with hitting. I mean, it's just when you're in a hitting groove, you're in a hitting groove. When you're in a slump, you're in a slump. I don't really think about it too much when I'm at the plate or when so I kind of separate both of them, so I don't really think about it.
The other thing, just with Barrett, he's played a lot of different positions for you this year. Obviously, you like his versatility.
Yes.
But I guess, why has he had to move around so much?
Well, initially he started the season at short for us, and that's really what he's been. He's been a middle infielder, and with David Miller, those guys kind of competed a little bit for the shortstop spot. Barrett was hitting the ball really from day one. I mean, he's hit the ball well for us all season. We just felt like, as we got a chance to look at David a little bit more, that maybe defensively he was going to solidify for us. When Angelo went down, really on spring break, he was playing right field for us, and it was, we actually, I think, had put Barrett out in right field at Moorhead State. Was his first time out we thought, you know what, that could work out pretty well. He's got a good arm, he's athletic, so he kind of filled that role for us. And then when Bridges went down, we had some other options at first base, with Blunt and McHugh and the Decker and some people, but finding a way to get Dixon in the lineup, and then Angie was coming back, and Angie was kind of eating up our DH spot. So that said, well, Perkins can go to first, and he's very good over at first base, and then Serrato, was trying at third, and he's done well. Perkins is, a natural third baseman as well, but I think both of those guys are making some sacrifices to help the team right now. And Serrato's playing a good third, and Perkins has played a good first, and Dixon is one of our better fielding outfielders. So our defense has actually been solidified. That wasn't the problem up at Michigan State. It wasn't our defense. Actually, our defense, I thought, played fairly well, except for a couple of PFP plays. So I've been happy with the versatility. It's helped me. It's always helpful, and it's invaluable, for a coach to have a guy that can play those multiple positions. A lot of times, with the catchers, if you have a guy that's just a catcher, then there's not much you can do with them. But if he can play multiple positions, and then he gives you, the Dan Blacks,
right,
gives you a little bit of versatility.
Sounds like, though, he was hitting the ball so well that you felt compelled to have him in the lineup somewhere, so you had to find a position for him.
Yeah, and our first thing is really, we want to put the best defense out there, and so we had to feel like if we were putting him out in the outfield, it wasn't going to be a liability because that ball finds you. And really, for the most part, I thought he played pretty well. There's maybe a ball or two that maybe he could have had, but really nothing that was, a negative for him out there. And then over at third base, he's been able to play. He's used to accustomed to being on that side of the infield, and he has to react a little bit quicker. But I think he's very capable of doing it, and he has less time to think about it, which probably is good. So.
Now, he told me in high school he was just a shortstop. That's all he played.
Yeah.
So how did you discover his versatility?
I think he's an athlete.
Okay.
He's an athlete, and at the next level, I think he could be that guy. He's a good left-handed hitter with a little bit above average speed and a good arm. He's got to learn how to throw from the outfield because he still gets a little bit of tail on it. But I think that's going to help him at the next level. Because to pencil him in as just a shortstop, you got to be really good defensively. They are some really good defensive middle infielders at the next level. But if you could say, I'm a big, strong left-handed hitter that can play short, third, corner outfield, I think you kind of market yourself a little bit. So, so thinking about that on his pro future, kind of said, well, maybe we can put him in the outfield at some point, and it just happened